Also this hour, as St George's and Union flags pop up in parts of London, we find out why not everyone is united about their appearance on the capital's streets. They are a familiar sight at moments of national celebration or commemorations and major sporting events. But now a flurry of flags have begun popping up in parts of the capital. Some claim the presence of the St George's and Union flags are being used divisively at a time of tensions surrounding immigration, while others say they're motivated by patriotism and pride. Our reporter Anna O'Neill has been to one London borough to hear how people there are feeling.
England flags painted on roundabouts and zebra crossings. Union flags hung from lampposts. Sutton is the latest London borough to become flagged, a grassroots British identity movement that some say is dividing rather than uniting communities. Roofer Billy is no stranger to a ladder, and now he's also a flagger. He's part of a group hanging up Union flags.
Flags have, especially the English flag, over the years have been used for the wrong purpose, and obviously because of the multicultural society that we live in now, there are a lot of people that can be offended by the flags if they think the meaning's the wrong way. The Union flag, which is the one we're flying, we're trying to show people that it is our flag and to not be worried about it. You know, they should view it like any other flag in the world. You know, we don't look at other people's flags and think racist flag instantly. Oh, I feel fearful. There's a Union flag flying there, and we're just trying to take the sting out of it.
Flagging is closely linked to recent anti-asylum protests, one of which resulted in 4 arrests last weekend in Canary Wharf for common assault, drugs and public order offences. Not everyone doing it has the same motive, and some in Sutton are wondering what the flags really mean.
Yeah, it's patriotism, you know. They do it in America, why don't they do it over here? But I don't know whether it's entirely for the right reasons. I think it's a lot about this immigration stuff, but...
It's a bit intimidating for some people, I imagine.
Do you find it intimidating?
And not at first. At first I thought something had happened, but then when I researched it, I found that the reasons behind it were a bit insidious, so I was a bit intimidated, I guess.
Trying to tell people it's British here, we're British. They come over here expecting to change our laws. If you don't like our laws, go back.
We all used to live, you know, happy all together, but because of what's happened with these bird people, people are getting really angry.
Fly the flags, that's absolutely fine, but if you're doing it because you're part of this whole racist movement, then I'm not okay with that.
Billy denies being racist or far right.
I'm not right wing. I work, you know, I'm not in any way, shape or form. I'm very tolerant, but I'm not tolerant of people who I believe are coming here to take the mickey. You know.
And would you say that you were racist at all?
No, not in any way, shape or form. It's not racist to be proud of being British and to want to protect your own country.
In the high street music venue, the Sound Lounge, last weekend, a different group of flaggers was confronted by owner Hannah.
Saw a group of people coming up the high street with ladders. So they were all kind of dressed in a similar way. They had their Union flags up. So I just kind of went over and said, "What are you doing?" And they said, "Why?" And I was like, "This is my venue, and I just want to know, like, who's giving you permission to put that up?" And then they kind of turned on me a little bit. So it was a bit more of a hostile interaction.
Counter flags have since gone up in protest both inside and outside the venue. Sutton Council told us,
"It's great so many people want to fly them to celebrate what's great about our country. People should be free to fly flags on their own homes or businesses, but need permission when it comes to someone else's property or public property to avoid trespass, vandalism or criminal damage."
Any unauthorised flags, it said, will be taken down for health and safety reasons. But Billy vows to continue flagging.
My main thing at the moment is to have the British flag displayed and not hidden away through fear of offending somebody. I want them to see it as the norm over here. That's what I would like, that's my end goal.
There's a massive dehumanisation sort of thing that's happening, and it's happening towards immigrants, and it's happening towards people of colour and non-British people, and we're, you know, talking about them all as if they all behave in one way and they're all a certain thing. but we're also doing it for people who are, you know, waving our flag, who's saying they're all a certain thing. That's not helpful.
Anna O'Neill, BBC London.
Well, let's pick up on this with our political editor, Carl Mercer. Hi, Carl. We heard some of the views from the streets there, but it is also an issue that's exercising politicians.
Yeah, and one that they're being forced to address. You know, we've seen flags, haven't we, at football tournaments all the time. All the flags come out and it's all about celebration. This time round, the whole flag issue seems to have been linked much more to those asylum hotel protests, where we've seen some of them turn violent. We've seen aggression against the police. We've seen lots of arrests as well. And it's kind of, for the politicians, trying to separate the violence around it and some racism, yes, some far-right activism, against the patriotism. And I think they've actually found it harder to articulate some of their views than some of the people in Anna's report there, which was good to hear from. But we did hear from a couple of politicians today, including the local MP in Sutton, which is where Hannah in Anna's report was based.
Those that see flying flags and putting flags up in public places as a way to show their pride, I think, need to be more conscious of how different representations of patriotism can sometimes bleed into nationalism, and that's not what we want to see. What we want to see is positive pride in our communities and our country, not in jingoistic statements.
It's the symbols that should bring us together as a country, and whether that's about celebrating the England, celebrating Britain and our values as well that underpin that. But I think those values are about decency, about fairness and about togetherness.
The Home Secretary ending that there. And as we heard, it's quite a balance for politicians.
Yeah, it is. And the Home Secretary did go out of her way to say, yes, it's good. I like to see lots of flags around. And the law actually does allow you to fly a flag St George, Union flag, as long as it's on your property or you've asked permission. But there are also restrictions under the Highways Act, I believe, which can restrict some of the hanging of flags on things like lampposts. So be warned.
OK, Carl, many thanks. That's our political editor, Carl Mercer.